Hey guys, Ben Hart here, and this is the second video of we're producing and recording a song. And so far we've charted it. You can go back and watch that first video there on YouTube. Depending on where you're watching this, you can check it out on my YouTube channel. I've charted it out in the Nashville numbering system, and we came up with like a hook, and we're going to start recording, and we got a drum loop going, and we checked everything, made sure it was okay. We picked out a key, and we're gonna record. I've changed strings on this guitar now, and we're gonna record that, the acoustic. So that's kind of the little hook thing. I think maybe we'll have some mandolin, and we'll see where this thing has. Hopefully some tremolo electric. So I'm using Logic today, so I've got that drum loop and everything, and so I might try to attach some good audio for you guys, like so you can actually hear what I'm recording, because I gotta wear headphones because of bleed. So I've got my mic here. It's a TLM Neumann 103. I use it probably too much because it's really the best mic I have, so we may be recording with that all today. So this is real life recording at home, but it's a good mic and I get a lot of things done with it. Do I wish I had different ones? Yeah, there's some I'm gonna get, but this is what we got right here. All right, so let's give this a shot. We'll see if we can do this in one take. I like to try to get better at doing one take. You know, my heroes are credit people. They're session players. They're Brent Mason and Jason Webb and Gordon Moat, Tom Bukovac, man, too many to count. Gary Prim. People like that. Piano players, guitar players, bass players. Yeah, it's always changing. So I'm like that kind of person. So, and they're just so good at doing things in one take. And yeah, want to be like you guys. All right, here we go. But I'm at home, so I can redo. And I find when I'm not actually at a session, I do more redoing. Maybe it's because I know that I can. I don't know. But so I'm putting this about between the 12th and 15th fret on the guitar. It's kind of faced at the hole. I just have this arm, and I kind of go up, kind of take some of the boxiness out. All right, so I'll try to attach some good audio to this. If I don't, I apologize. But let's get this rolling here. Turn off the speakers, get things going in my headphones. I'll try to keep the click low enough. I'll put it in there so you guys can hear it, but I'll try to keep it low enough where I don't have a ton of bleed. So here we go. talk about some stuff I decided to do in there. Maybe I'll try to put the chart up on the screen, so because I don't have an overhead camera for this one. On the first line, no. On the first verse, I decided to play the 4s with like 2s in them. And I also decided, like, after the hook, all right, after that I went to this kind of pattern, but I played this kind of F right here, and I didn't even press that down because it was only on these 3 strings, but it's got a 2 in it, so like it's not. But I didn't do that on the chorus, but because like the verse is da 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 da, so it kind of has that in the melody line, and I wanted to play that. But a minute ago I did strum through this once, and I didn't record it, but I felt like the chorus, the chord, that sounded cool to play your 4s with the 2, but I felt like it was going to fight maybe the harmonies a little bit later on, so I just played them. And so I started on the last couple bars of 1 in the verses, started building. And if I was making this chart for a whole bunch of people to see, I would put some, I would put some dynamic markings on there, so I knew, like, because I went 2, 3, 4. Another thing, a lot of my C's, like when I was strumming, it looks like I'm pressing this down, but I'm muting this and I'm playing this G up here. So it's kind of like open power chord sound. So he can walk on the water. And you can also see on those first choruses, the ones that are in C, there is a C suspended, and you can do that. But this stays out of the way just to leave the 3rd out of it, and I played power chord. I didn't, however, do that when we did the key change. When we went to D, I played, because I just like those voicings. So I'm doing it on what's going to stay out of the way, and what also voicings what I feel like sounds the best if I play the suspended, or if I feel like I need to play like the alter note, maybe is what I'm gonna say, of the chord. So like the major 7s or the suspended. If not, you can just play the 1s and 5s. And I could have done that with the A, but I thought it'd be like, if he, where it goes, he can walk on the water, so that's suspended. But I could have just water where I am, and I did that with C. I played this 4-finger G. All right. So those are some things that I did during that second verse. I went back to the picking after I went the hook on the you can see that second I there. So calling that an interlude. Maybe I should call it a turnaround. I only did 1 of those. So and we talked about this arrangement, so I'm not going to just go over it. And then when it changed to D, and I just kind of end it like that. Okay, so there's acoustic guitar laid down to that little drum loop thing. I am gonna have someone else play drums on this. Like, I'm not gonna just leave that loop up, but that gives me some feel while I'm playing. I don't always do that, but I did this time. I like it. Let's do this. So here's some ideas for the mandolin. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna mic this kind of like by this, what they call the F hole right here. I need this to be darker. So I'm gonna do that on top of that little hook. Then Alright, so I'm gonna play that hook and kind of do that on top of that guitar to kind of like do the octave on that, and then I'll have to change keys to work out that D because when it changed with the outro. But I don't hammer on that, so I gotta go. Okay. So I'm gonna do those, and then on the choruses right now, I'm just gonna cross pick. So like in C, I'm gonna try to stay on these bottom strings and add some sort of like pattern. I'm gonna leave a third out of it. So I'm gonna play this G, and this C. It's gonna sound weird by itself, but in the context of mix, I think it'll be all right. I'm gonna play F. Here's a C. Here's an A. Here's an F. There we go. I can play the F. And then G, I'll play like this. Yeah, because even that suspended thing, if I'm cross picking, I won't reach that. I could do that, but I'm not going to. That's suspended till I get there. So that'll work out just fine. So C here. Kind of making up these voicings as I go here. All right. So let's see if I can do this. So I've got interlude, rest out in the verse, chorus, cross pick, the turnaround or the interlude there. I'm gonna lay out in the verse right now. Maybe I'll add some licks later on, but right now I'm just gonna get the chordal so I can get the guts of this thing going. And yeah, so we will do that. I need to think about that key change. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll work out good. All right, here we go. Got a mandolin channel up. I'm gonna use the same mic. Just put it like right here. That's what works for this one. Make it a little darker sounding mandolin. This isn't the deepest sounding mandolin, but it's also not the cheapest one. It'll definitely do the job here. So let me see here. Yeah, so I need to go. And I am not the greatest mandolin player, so, but these are just parts that I want. So like, I feel like this would be good. I'll probably get Elisa to play the mandolin after I come up with the parts or something. Maybe we'll record it, or maybe she'll just play it live or something, right? So here we go, let's go. I know I got this metronome really low, but the shaker kicks in, so it's like half bars or whatever. So I just typed that in wrong. It should be 134 rather than 67, but it is what it is at this point in time, and I can handle it. Messed up. Let's try it again. I told you I was. There it is. All right, here we go. Let's try it again. so I messed that up. Let's try that again. Yeah, here we go. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. All right, so that chorus was okay. Let me see. All right, so I'm gonna come in on that 4 right there. Here we go. I need to hit that thing again. See, I told you folks, not a mandolin player. All right, so here we go. Let me get that. No. Yep, all right, there we go. Let's try that. Once again, let's try it again. Keep on messing. All right, that was crazy. All right, so there's that. I've got that down. Yeah, so I think that's something. You know, I'm really normally I would lay the bass down already. So I can actually take the earphones off this because my bass stuff is direct. And we'll record this, and then that'll be this this track, I believe. I don't need this anymore. All right, I'm just leaving everything in there, I think, unless this is after editing. Just, you know, just if you guys want the real stuff of mess ups and all that kind of stuff, that's what's really happening. Alright, so I've got a bass here, a P bass. That's my preferred bass. I like a lot of basses, but I prefer a P bass. I've got it plugged into a Sans amp. The Tech 21, just the classic little guy, and then it goes into my interface. And then, let me see here what I got. I don't know why I don't have any tone. Oh, it's plugged in wrong. Here we go. So I don't know if you can hear that. So it's got some drive on it, and I want that. I want that drive. These are somewhat old strings, but I don't know how much of this you can hear or not hear. I've also got bias effects, like an amp modeler on here. Let me see if this is halfway in tune. Yeah, so this will really start to sound like something once I get the bass going. I feel like we're gonna do a lower octave on this with the tremolo, not on the bass, but I'm just looking forward to the electric. I love it. I love like clean sound electric stuff. Man, it's so much fun. All right, so let me Let's just do a pass through and like I just have fun with it because I don't know how much movement. I may want this really simple. So I'm in the key of C. So we got C. You know, here's your 3. Here's F. Here's G. But I got this. But I could do a lot of like. Yeah, let me just do a fake pass and just like goof around and probably mess up on purpose. So I'll record it though, just in case, you know. All right, so here we go, following this chart. I think on the first verse, I'm gonna do like halftime, or you know, like the like it's 67, not. It's gonna be longer bars, kind of situation. So here we go. So I do think I like the higher licks, like on the intro. I started out, last second I decided to go from G and slide to the C. It's because it's G and then, or I kind of find it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then I played around with this F, like, so here's an F, here's an F, and then I kind of played around. So that's the 1 of F, flat 7, you know, the 5 of F, the 2, and I got back down to this octave F. And down to that. So I'm just gonna go through this one at a time. We'll just explain what I'm gonna do on the bass. So let's do the intro and the verse. Let me see the chorus. I need to assign the kick pattern. I was kind of, you know, that really dictates what the kick and the bass are gonna do. So I can walk on the water where I am. 2, 3, 4. Maybe every other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Take care of me. Yeah. All right. I think we'll do that. All right. Let's give it a shot. terrible. Let's try that again. So, dun, dun. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, there we go. I think that wasn't too bad. I just went ahead and did the whole thing. So I didn't check that key change if I like that lick. Let's check that out real quick. Let's see. Let me see what we got here. I feel like that 3 was like something else was ringing in there. So let me hit that real quick. So let's see where we're at. Just the key change. I didn't like that either. Let's try it again. So. Something is not working. All right, let's try this again. Let me see, what do I... Oh, I was changing from D. I was like, man, that doesn't sound good. Never mind, wrong key. Anyway, I'm gonna keep the old one, but I like that key change better, and maybe some of that other stuff. So let me select that. I just got carried away and just decided to keep going. Cool. I think that is a take. Yeah. So there is that. I'm gonna play just the intro real quick. Make sure that sounds like something. And there's. Okay, so far we have you know, charted and kind of ranged. We got acoustic guitar, mandolin, kind of for some vibe, and bass guitar laid down there. At this point in time, I could send it off to a drummer. When you get a bass and piano or something, or a guitar or something laid down, I don't have piano. I don't know if I'm going to or not. Surely I will. I'm a piano player, so surely I'll at least pad through this or something. But there's definitely going to be some tremolo guitar on this. So maybe the next, I could send it off to a drummer now. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I probably will lay down some guitars that give it kind of some more feeling. They're pretty good about anticipating that, but you know, I'm going to wait off on that. But that's what I did today, and you know, the bass, I just do a lot of, I get people all the time asking about bass licks, and like, I'm a decent bass player, but like, that's not my trick. I have to do it. I can do regular old, what you expect, bass parts. Just a lot of major scale, you know, just a lot of like, and holding down the roots. That's the important thing that we do as bass players. I enjoy playing the bass, but like, hold down those roots and play low notes. I know I had like, high stuff, and that stuff's great, but for the most part, holding that groove down. So anyway, yeah, all right, so that's I Know Jesus Can Take Care of Me, the second little video. We laid down acoustic guitar, mandolin, and bass. So yeah, we'll see you at the next video.